Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to have some Division 19 ranked online gameplay in the lightweight division using Justin Gaethje. We're going to be coming up against a Nate Diaz who's in Division 15, and as you can see from the icons, is a high level player, has been in Division 20 in the past. And getting into this, of course, using Justin Gaethje, you know exactly what I'm going to be looking to do. If you followed my channel, you know that I love throwing leg kicks, and one of my subscribers, Tony Ferguson, a while ago was saying that I should be using Justin to, really show off the leg kicks, and that's exactly what I'm going to look to do in this gameplay here. And of course, using Justin Gaethje, especially when you're trying to sim with him, it's not going to be the cleanest gameplay in the sense that it's all going to be super crisp. Justin Gaethje does take damage, even if you look at if you look at all of his fights, he always takes damage. But the Tony Ferguson one, more notably, how clean his boxing was and leg kicks and how crisp everything was. He still obviously got knocked down by that Tony Ferguson uppercut, so expect there to be damage taken in this video. Risks, calculated risks as he'd call it, when he called out Brendan for saying that he fights recklessly, but like he says, he doesn't fight reckless. They're all the same weight, they all carry the same power, and he'll take one to give one. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in this gameplay here against Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz, tremendous boxing, very long, rangy, one of the best 1-2s in the game, in my opinion, just because of how the distance he covers when he throws it. But of course, very prone to leg kicks, and although it does have great recovery, can be knocked down fairly easily. So with all that being said, you'll see throughout the gameplay here that I try throw an enormous amount, like a huge array of leg kicks and punches. I think by the end you'll see on the scorecards and the stats that I outthrow my opponent by a lot, and you'll see what happens as this fight goes on. Of course, Nate Diaz, you've got to try work the body as well, just because Nate's cardio is just something that's, it's breathtaking really, and that really does translate into the game. You can be drowned when facing Nate Diaz, and especially Justin Gaethje. I think the way to beat him is to overwhelm him, trap him against the fence, and work the body. So me knowing this, you see my opponent's doing all the right things, really trying to trap me. I'm throwing these leg kicks, and what I try to do is I try to throw obscure leg kicks, sometimes just in the middle of combos randomly. I'll throw it when you don't expect it, and they're the ones that do the most damage. You can see we already get a leg health event here, which is just a good sign of things to come. And when I'm using someone that's leg kick heavy, I don't really care about how many times they check my leg kicks, because it's not going to deter me from throwing them. I'm really going to rip into those legs, and there's so many benefits that come from leg kicks. For instance, you mitigate your opponent's punch power, which is a huge thing. It feels like you limit their movement. It's easy knockdowns, and it gives a good reaction. When you land a clean leg kick, the animation it pulls off, it really startles your opponent. It can also deny takedowns if you throw it at the right time. So there's a huge array of benefits, and I still don't feel like people utilize leg kicks as much as they should. I'm seeing more YouTubers around the community really shine light to how leg kicks can actually be effective, because I remember not long ago that a lot of the bigger YouTubers and content creators for UFC were saying how leg kicks aren't really, that effective. But I've always disagreed. I've always felt like there's a right time and a place for them, and I feel like they should be used more often. And in the gameplay here, you'll see that I really do try to get a leg kick finish. I really obliterate my opponent's legs. Of course, it is to be noticed I am facing a Nate Diaz who doesn't have the best leg health stats. When you look at some of the better fighters in the division, in the lightweight division, of course, you've got people like Nate Diaz that has weak legs. Tony Ferguson doesn't have the best leg health. Conor McGregor doesn't have the best leg health, and in general, anyone you put up against Justin Gaethje isn't going to have the best leg health. There's a lot of leg kickers in this division as well, but I feel like with the way Justin fights and how he's always in the pocket and throwing them at obscure angles, he's the go-to guy. I go for just really throwing leg kicks at all times. You've also got people like Edson Barboza, Rafael Dos Anjos, Dustin Poirier, but there's something special about these Justin Gaethje leg kicks. They feel to really do a lot of damage when they land. I feel like I only need to land a couple, and my opponent's leg health just completely drops. And you can see my opponent's doing the right things, is really pressuring me, trapping me against the cage. And with Justin, obviously, he can take a punch. I don't mind taking this damage. You see, rip to the body there. That was a clean combination. That body's been open the whole time. The only reason I haven't been thrown is because I've been so content on absolutely drilling the legs. And this is where sometimes you can get sucked into a particular style of fighting. Like right now, I can see a lot of things that I should be doing better. But this is the way I want to fight. I'm going to take damage, and I'm willing to take the damage just to keep throwing these leg kicks. And I throw the leg kicks in boxing range as well, which is obviously extremely dangerous. And that combination there was so beautiful, where I started with the lead leg kick, went for a 1-2, and then threw a leg kick again. And you know, it's a 4-piece combination. It does a number on your stamina, but it's super effective, super crisp. And as you can see, I'm really starting to filter in these attacks, and I'm trying to keep it unpredictable. And even with the boxing, I'm trying to throw short and sweet combinations, really mix in the leg kicks. I'm trying to work the body and head now. And you can see that it's at random times that I really clip my opponent. It's with combinations that he hasn't been seeing. But like I said, my opponent's doing a good job. Definitely still in this fight. Throwing very good combinations himself. Doing a great job of trapping me. Mixing in head kicks with Nate Diaz, which obviously you don't really expect too often. Of course, hasn't really been throwing leg kicks, but has been throwing roundhouses to the body, which, as you can see, I've done a number of them on my stamina. But I'm starting to figure out a range in which I'm comfortable in. Like I said, I'm going to take damage, and that's okay. I've more than accepted that going into this fight here. As you can see, both say good fight to each other, very respectful opponent. And coming into the round 3, we've had 2 very good rounds. Like I said, of course, taken damage, that's to be noted, but we've done a lot of damage to my opponent's legs. And in this round here is when I really normally start to notice that my opponents really start to fade, and this leg damage really adds up. And I've been ripping those double body hooks to the body every now and then. That started the round prior, and it's really starting to slow down my opponent. And what I notice is when I implement strategies like this, it's normally when it starts to reach the 3rd, 4th and 5th round that you can feel your opponents just start to fade. You can see it in the character themselves. Their hands are a little bit lower. It takes them a little bit longer to move. And this is a perfect sign, because I haven't even started cracking the legs as much as I should. Of course, I've done a lot of damage to them, but they're still not wincing. As soon as I touch them, I want it to be a leg health event, and I'm well on the way there. And obviously Nate Diaz normally tends to get better as the rounds progress, which is exactly why I needed to do the groundwork in rounds 1 and 2 to really soften up those legs, soften up the body and the chin, in order for me to get easier knockdowns. And as you can see, get the leg health event there, crack my opponent, go straight back to the leg. And now I'm sort of being the aggressor here, crack the leg, and now both legs are gone. So this is a very key moment in the fight, because now both his legs are completely done. Goes to clinch, which is an early sign that he's going to now look to initiate a grappling exchange. Of course, Nate Diaz is phenomenal on the ground, but when it comes to the wrestling aspect of getting the opponent onto the ground, not the biggest threat to worry about. I'm noticing my opponent swaying a lot. So as you can see, I went for a hook before, he didn't sway. I threw the jab, he swayed, and rather than going with the hook, I go for the leg kick to stun my opponent. And right now we're just piecing my opponent up, but you can see I'm very persistent on these leg kicks. And like I said, I was really trying to get a leg kick finish, and just really overall trying to brutalize my opponent. Obviously you can see I don't want any part of the ground game. Fake the jab and then gone to the leg kick, gone back to the leg kick, and this is just me right now eating my opponent's legs. I'm really hungry, and I just want both of them. And yeah, that's it. As you can see, he shoots for a takedown, which I expected. And I was at a good range to where I was far enough away, I didn't have to worry. Get the stun to the head, go back to the leg, and then forcing my opponent to get up, otherwise the ref was going to do it. And as you can see, the roles are just completely reversed. And like I said, I'm still putting myself in danger. I'm still in this boxing range. Drop my opponent. I could look to get on top, but you know, is it a risk I really want to run when this game plan's working so well? I don't really want to deviate from it again. Go to the leg, get another knockdown, and that leg is so jacked up. And this is exactly what happens when I use Justin Gaethje. I mean, I've got a lot of fights saved on my PlayStation, which I can go through. And after the second round, people's legs are done. They normally just quit, or they'll use strikers and turn into panic wrestlers, which I can understand. You know, if that route isn't working, then you're gonna have to try and wrestle. But I've made a lot of Conor McGregor's, a lot of Dustin Poiriers. Just, you know, either quit or try wrestle. And here you can just see that my opponent, he's borderline done now. Everything's dropping him. Head health's gone, body health's gone, legs are beyond gone. I think after this he needs them surgically replaced, because there's just nothing to stand on. And where the legs are so done now, the power isn't transmitting with the punches. He's going for these clinch attempts, which of course I'm seeing. Now he's doing a good job of checking his leg kicks. Obviously he's so predictable that I'm going for them, because it's the only thing I'm really going for. I think at this moment here, my opponent knows that I'm trying to get a leg kick finish. It's round 4 here. We've managed to completely obliterate my opponent's chin health, leg health, and body health. So we can really take the fight in whatever avenue we want. And where he's laying on the ground, if I really wanted to, Justin Gaethje's got good enough wrestling for me to jump on top and feel more than comfortable. But like I said, the game plan here is to hurt my opponent. I want to completely rip off those legs. So I'm going to keep this fight standing. And as you can see, he's constantly blocking low here. I know his chin health's to the point where if I tap it, it might be enough to knock him out, which is why I'm sort of being hesitant. I don't really want to do that. Like I said, was aiming for a leg kick finish, but I've got to use my hands too. Great movement, and you can see no stamina from my opponent. Just, he's got nothing in it really. He's going to have to catch me with a Hail Mary strike to knock me out, because if this goes to a decision, it's going to be extremely one-sided. He went for the overhand right there. We intercepted with a beautiful cross, which done enough to drop him. Again, go for the leg kick there. Just being patient, moving around. He's still trying to press this round. The round before, he sort of stepped back and wasn't really pressing. This round, he's really going heavy with the press. I think he knows that the fight's over, and he's just trying to create something out of nothing, which I can respect. It's very Nate Diaz-like, really pushing forward, just a total zombie, really trying to get that finish. And yeah, goes for the head kick, hit him with a beautiful lead hook, and that finishes the fight. So yeah, that was me using Justin Gaethje, someone that I'm probably going to be trying to upload more gameplays with. I'm really trying to master leg kicks. I do believe I am one of the best players when it comes to filtering leg kicks. It's a tool which I've always used throughout all of my fights. And yeah, but Justin Gaethje, this was brought to you because obviously a subscriber, shout out Tony Ferguson, was saying that he would like to see me use Justin. So this is the gameplay here. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any content suggestion, please let me know in the comments below. If any YouTubers or subscribers want to fight again, let me know. We'll get the best of 3 down. I'll record it and upload it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.